Hi everyone, my name is Anya. I'm a channel and an Akashic reader. I'm channel Light Codes, and today I want to share a very interesting channeling with you about the huge and elusive topic of transcendence. So, I don't know how you are, but to me, transcendence was always a very big concept I did not fully understand. I think it is so huge and vast. And at the same time, it's a bit shady in a way. I cannot really fully transcend transcendence. So I was talking about this with a friend just before we went into a channeling. And yeah, she brought up the question, what would actually be a very interesting topic in a channeling is transcendence and what that really means. And we kind of talked about this for a few minutes before we did a channeling on something completely different. But they, I guess usually they are always around us, so they picked up on that and they took up the conversation after a while and explained transcendence. And it is so brilliant and it is such a wonderful topic. I want to share it with you. So here we go. You see, transcendence, you were so interested in what is transcendence. Transcendence means, for a very big part, that you are not master. No, sorry, that's the other way around. That you are the master of your emotions. You do still have emotions when you are a transcendent being, when you have fully transcended. However, you're not attached to those. They're not your master. They're not your slave either. They are outside of you, but they're still yours. You know about them, but you do not possess them, and they do not possess you. It is not an understanding of the mind what transcendence really is. It is that you have left that realm behind, have transcended it, meaning have fully done it, fully done it, fully experienced it, fully understood it here, what it means, what it is, why it is, why you are. And you can slowly leave it behind without ever it leaving you, without you leaving it behind in the meaning that you do not take it with you. Take it with you, but you're not attached anymore. You can think of the life, you can feel the life you had. All the lives, maybe. Some do it in many lives, some do it in one. When you're transcendent, this is like a great music. It's like an orchestra of colors and sounds, of something different than emotions, but not dissimilar. It is similar to an emotion. It is elation. It is relief, maybe. It is letting go. But being glad to have known it. And when you're glad to have known it, you take it with you. So have you ever thought about why the people who have been on earth with you, your parents, your grandparents, when they leave and they transition, why is it that within a year you simply forget about them? What purpose does it serve that humans have a memory about humans that are not longer walk the earth? What's the purpose? The connection is still ongoing. As long as you think you remember those important things. It's an ongoing process of transcendence, an ongoing process. Sometimes the tiniest thing is what leads to the greatest learning. You're not even aware of that person who is sitting with you in school. You do not even talk to them. You do not even meet up for a friendly game of ball. You've never shared a conversation beyond good morning, good afternoon. Years and years later, you think about them being in class with you, sharing this experience with you. Why? What does memory serve within the concept of transcendence here? So, you see, it is a big topic. It's probably not good to break it down into two small compartments. But think about memory, think about emotion, and think about elation. When you ponder, contemplate about transcendence, it is an opening eye. It is closing and opening. And once it is fully open, you will recognize the eye as your own. Good day for now. So welcome back, and let's pick this apart a bit. So transcendence has to do with emotions. They made this pretty clear. What I want to share with you is that I do not think when I speak about master and slave, or when I use these terms very often, they do not mean this term master in the colonial sense of a master and a slave in that hierarchy. I do think it is much more in the meaning of someone who has mastered something, who is very good at something, perfect at it, maybe even. So the artist in doing business with emotions and has actually mastered it. So when you have reached a certain stage in your being, in your existence, and Earth seems to be a pretty good playground for that because we have all these emotions and we can deal with all of them in one incarnation only. So when we all do that, at one point, some people manage to detach from their emotions in such a wonderful way, in such a masterful way, that they still feel them. They don't negate them necessarily, but they are very good at letting them go and not letting them define either their being, their habits, their actions, the words, their mood. So they do not become this emotion. They are aware of the emotion itself, but I don't think they feel necessarily rage. I do think they know what rage is, of course, and they may even acknowledge the feeling itself, being present in the field, in the situation, in the moment, whatever, but they don't inhabit it, or they do not let this feeling inhabit them. So in that sense, they are a master of it. And the other interesting thing they talked about was emotions in regards to the passed on loved ones. And I really do think, I want to explain here something real quick for you. When I channel, I do not have control over my mouth in this way, like when I speak to you. So I am aware sometimes that my mouth says a word or a sentence and it does not match the meaning they give me. And I really do think that did not mean to say that we forget about people. after a year or so in mourning and then we just lose the memory. I actually may think they meant it the other way round. We do not forget people. So what they wanted to say was that memory stays with us forever. And I do think this is true in the meaning that we do not attach much emotion to anything anymore. Things are super superficial sometimes, but we hold our loved ones very dear. And when you have a loved one who has departed ages ago, maybe centuries ago, you still think of your grandma, your grandpa, your dad who died when you were little, maybe, or a good friend. So these people accompany us throughout our lives. And why is the human condition in that way built? That we do not forget about those people. They are not needed in our lives anymore. They are not here anymore. We do not talk to them anymore. We don't see them anymore. They are not around. So why are we clinging to the memory? And this seems to be a pretty good starting point to master transcendence, or to move on in the mastery of that, by contemplating the memory of loved ones and the memory itself that we have in this human experience. So I invite you to really go deeper into that and think about why is it important, seemingly, for us humans to remember these beings who are not with us anymore. They obviously carry a teaching for us over, even though they have transitioned. And the teaching is with us still. It must be important in the step of transcending. So isn't that a wonderful invitation to really start about doing it, thinking about it, learning about it, and going deeper into this? If you have any questions about this channeling, if you feel you have anything to add, anything valuable, or if you just want to share in this, please do. Please reach out and tell me what you think about transcendence. I'm curious to know.